commute. This is technically a B2 vocabulary, so technically works for you. And I want you to learn its pronunciation. Isaac, what is commute?
Commute.
Very good.
Commute.
Commute.
So what's commute?
Yes, is to travel regularly by bus, train, car, etc. between your place of work and your home.
What do you understand?
Well, is it a verb? I understand that it's like the action, no? Move from your house, from your home to your job and back.
That's right. That's a regular trip, or when you travel regularly. Of course, it's not the word is, although that will be the difference between travel and commute, because to travel is to go to different places, different cities, different countries, and commute is the way from the office to your house.
Okay, yeah, yes, teacher.
Mhm.
I get it.
Have
Sorry,
you?
I'm really sick today, but,
Oh no.
but let's continue.
Excellent. That's it. That's the spirit, Isaac. Very good.
But if I don't answer, it's because I'm sleeping.
Exactly. You're dying or something.
Yeah.
Okay. No problem, brother. So that's the thing about commuting. Commuting is the action of technically traveling, but not to a different city. Okay, guys? It's more like the the casual, everyday transport from one place to another.
Could it be used also for a different place? For example, when you go to the gym or maybe to what else? To do the how to say to the supermarket or something like that.
That can be also considered commute because it's a way, technically, you're moving in your neighborhood. These
Yeah.
type of locations or destinations are inside your neighborhood. That's also considered commute.
Okay.
And look at the collocations, guys. The chunks is commute from A to B. When you are saying from my house to the office, or you can use the word between and commute between my house and the office, right? In different, it depending on what you want to say. Mhm. Those are like the most common words. And commute something. People are prepared to commute long distances if they are desperate for work. Commute long distances, which is in this particular word, travel. If you see the thesaurus, you're gonna see that commute is similar to drive. You see?
Teacher, so commute is like yeah, like is a travel or drive, but commute is something that you do you do usually is
Yes,
an habit.
an habit. That's
Ah,
right. And has a close connection, not to the habits per se. It's not like it's not connected to your personal life. It's more connected about highways, roads, traffic. When you talk about commute, you talk about the public areas where this happen. You know.
and it must it must connect with uh, 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 A from A to B.
That's right. That as a, I mean, if it's necessary to speak about the points, no, but you can also say, um, In digital nomads don't need to commute. Period.
Digital, uh, digital.
Nomads.
What did you say?
Nomads.
Nomads. You was talking about that in the morning, no?
Oh, did you see the morning class? Ah, that's so
Yeah.
cool. Yeah, we were talking about digital nomads, which are these people who work in their laptops and they travel
Yeah.
to the city.
You talked about you you mm, um, had been in Querétaro and
Ah,
other places, and uh, you you don't like uh, you don't like work out of your home office.
exactly. No, yes, you remember. That's so cool.
Yeah.
You were watching the morning class. That's amazing. Because it's so uncomfortable. Connection is perfect in my house. My equipment is perfect in my house. But if I travel, my communication with my students is like awful, really, really awful.
Yeah.
So that was the topic in the morning. So in this particular case, that's why we are talking about nomads. Nomads don't drive to work. They work in their house, or they just enter the coffee shop and start the day.
Yeah.
No, commute.
Yeah.
That's the
Yes.
way. So that is the topic for today. And this video, the one that we're going to study this week, is very interesting because we are talking about a very interesting experiment that a city is doing in, I don't remember the country, but they are technically getting rid of road signs. There is a lot of vocabulary in my sentence. Number one, what is a road sign? What do you understand with this?
It's like an image, how say image,
Image, yes.
that it's in the side of the street that maybe indicate that you need to stop, the speed limit, the
Totally, exactly. These are the road signs. Uh-huh. And then the experiment in the video that we are going to watch goes about getting rid of road signs. Getting rid of road signs. Let's go to the dictionary and let's learn what is this. Vocabulary, help me, Michael.
Get rid of somebody or something. Can you switch the page, please?
Oh, sorry.
To make yourself free or somebody something that is annoying you are, or that you don't know want.
Annoying you, separate. Or
That you do not want.
uh-huh.
To throw something away. Try and get rid of your visitors before I get there. This is
Do
an
you
example.
understand this information? Getting rid of somebody? What do you understand, Mike?
Mm.
Or can anyone help? Mike?
Yeah.
Who wants to help? Isaac.
yes. What was the question? Sorry.
What is get rid of?
Okay, I actually I wanted to ask you if it was like a synonym of throw away, but I can see that it is. So it's maybe
Totally.
when you don't want something, maybe in your house, and you decide to put it in the garbage or something like this.
Yes. Yes, precisely. So you don't need anything or you don't want it. So you
Yes,
decide to get rid of that. You
yes.
put it in the trash. You throw away. Throw
Yeah,
things away. Mhm.
I was trying to not use the same words.
No, that's perfect. That's excellent. I don't think, well, a synonym is a good way to attack a strange word.
Yeah.
Of course, get rid of sounds very, very strange at the beginning, but you will notice that people use it a lot. This expression is super, super common.
Yes,
Uh-huh.
I have heard that words a lot.
Oh, great. Great, great, great.
Yes,
That's
by
precisely
working.
it, right? So the thing is, the premise of the video goes about this precise expression. To get rid of something, in this case, getting rid of road signs. The experiment is very interesting because they are eliminating, they are deleting some of the most common things that we use in our everyday commute, which is number one, road signs, number two, sidewalks. Do you know what is a sidewalk?
Yes,
All right, sidewalks and other things that are common in our everyday commute. So this video is very, very interesting, very, very experimental, and I want to check if you can understand. Ready? Let's go.
If I showed you two big intersections, one with a bunch of signs, traffic lights, and boundaries, and one with no markings or apparent rules at all, which one would look safer to you? Towns all over Europe are starting to experiment with streets like this, where cars, bikes, buses, and people can travel freely in the same space. I think this looks like an accident waiting to happen, but I know someone who would know a lot more about this than I do.
I'm Roman Mars from 99% Invisible, and that's what urban planners often refer to as a shared space design strategy. It seems counterintuitive, but there's evidence that getting rid of all signs and barriers might make our streets a lot safer.
So, how does it work? There's a spot in Google Street View where you can witness a town undergoing this exact transformation. This is Poynton, England, about 20 minutes away from Manchester. Here's the city center in May 2011. There's a mess of signs and lights, a few small sidewalks, and some haphazard guardrails to keep pedestrians safe. And here it is in July 2015. Traffic lights, road signs, curbs, all gone.
Something very strange is happening on the streets of Britain. I don't know if you've noticed, but in some places, pavements and roads have been blurring into one with cars, buses and pedestrians all sharing the same space.
The town spent £4 million to expand sidewalk space and strip the city center of traditional demarcations. Now, the only marker left is this little sign, Poynton Shared Space Village.
The concept is that the absence of separation will make everyone more cautious, so commuters slow down, make eye contact, and negotiate. Watch what happens when a boy in Poynton is encouraged to cross the street without waiting for the cars to clear the intersection. Because cars don't spend time waiting at traffic lights, it takes less time on average for them to get through the crossing. Even when bikers and pedestrians are absent, cars drive slow due to a concept called edge friction. It's the idea that nearby vertical elements in a driver's peripheral vision, like trees or lamps, create a visual cue for how fast they're going. On a highway, those are often totally absent, so the sidelines blur. In a shared space, those lines play an important mental trick to slow down drivers. In theory, shared space works well for pedestrians, allowing them to follow their desired path while walking. Instead of being limited to a strict path, they can walk exactly in the direction they want to go.
In practice, that doesn't always seem to be the case. Video footage of a shared space at Elwick Square in Ashford, England shows that pedestrians mostly still stick to crosswalks, or where a crosswalk would be.
That's largely because these layouts are stressful. The majority of a survey group asked about crossing Elwick Square reported feeling anxious about it. And those pedestrians frequently report that they prefer things the way they used to be.
But the way things used to be is relative. If you look at old footage of city streets in the early 1900s, cars mixed freely with pedestrians, bicyclists, and streetcars. Vehicles couldn't go very fast back then, so there wasn't a huge concern about separating them from walkers and bikers. With plenty of city streets, that's still the case, without any intentional urban planning. But the big question is whether these deliberately stripped down designs actually make people safer.
It seems that in many cases, they do. For one thing, we know that the number of accidents drops after shared spaces are installed. In Ipswich, rates of accidents involving injuries fell from 23 over 3 years to just 1 per year. In London's Kensington High Street, the number of pedestrians injured dropped by nearly 60%. And in Drachten, in the Netherlands, accidents at one intersection fell from 36 in 4 years to 2 in 2 years.
We also know that shared spaces are quantifiably more free-flowing based on analysis of traffic conflicts. With video footage like this from Exhibition Road in London, analysts can rate the severity of a traffic conflict based on the participant's speed and change of course. Before the shared space renovation, one pedestrian had to step back onto the sidewalk to avoid a departing car. Another broke out into a sprint to avoid getting hit by an oncoming van. After the shared space installation, traffic conflicts were less frequent and less severe on average, like this, where pedestrians wait for a cab to cross before continuing. Or this one, where a cyclist changes course to avoid pedestrians.
But that doesn't mean these designs work for everyone.
I think it's the most ludicrous idea I've ever heard. What about
Me too.
Blind people,
I know, well, Headley,
children?
yeah, I know.
You know, what about, it's going to be all sorts of...
From the beginning, shared space designs have been under fire for providing insufficient protections for disabled pedestrians, especially the visually impaired.
The family of a pensioner who died a month after being hit by a bus have called for traffic lights to be reinstalled at the junction.
Traffic lights here were recently removed to make way for a so-called shared space, but it's a move which has angered David's family.
I'm sure if the traffic lights were there, this wouldn't have happened.
A 2015 House of Lords report called for a temporary ban on shared space designs. And in August 2016, a select committee of the House of Commons launched an inquiry into the accessibility of such environments. Their final report in April 2017 asked the government to put all shared space schemes on hold until they improved the process of consulting disabled communities. Preliminary designs like these by the Danish Building Research Institute give us an idea of what that balance might look like. They include both the mixed traffic of shared space and the raised street textures and button-activated crosswalks that disabled users are used to. Shared spaces can be effective, but for this kind of plan to work across communities, it will require a lot more research to determine what will work in different places and what will serve the needs of all the people sharing the streets.
So what happened? What happened on the video? Let's begin with Rafa.
Yes, teacher. What did you say?
What did you understand on the video?
I understood that they get rid of a lot of things. The obstaculate the commitment.
Block the commute.
The commute.
Yes.
The commute. That obstaculate the commute.
Block, not obstacle. That's Spanglish.
Get rid of a lot of things that get slower the commit. Works to to make efficient an efficient space for the transportation in general, for cars, for the public transport, people, and it 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 works in many cases. No, but this case has huge a huge point of point of mm, a huge negative point.
Okay.
But is and they were ignoring the blind people, the uh, and people without the normal faculties to to interact with this way of for this way of
Commuting.
commuting.
Commuting, precisely.
Yeah.
That's technically the global idea of the video. Very good.
And I think also that I need to improve a lot my listening comprehension.
Okay, why do you say that?
Usually I need with captions. I catch everything that they
Of
say.
course, of course.
And when I watch movies in this way, I everything fine. But without captions, without subtitles, I'm very lost.
Totally, totally, that happens. How you feel after you check the vocabulary? When you rewatch the video, but with vocabulary in mind.
It is yeah, it's much better. But I think I need to practice a lot.
Totally, totally. That's an answer that I expected. That yes, it's better, but it's not perfect. I mean, after checking vocabulary, it can overcomplicate things because now there is a lot of information to process before understanding the video, right? So
Yeah.
I understand what's going on, but this is definitely when every time I learn a new word, I see it as the first time I open a door. You know, like every word has a different key.
Yeah.
You know, and I always see that. Has it happened to you that when you don't know what key is the correct one, you are looking for the keys? It's like, oh my god, which one is the correct one to open the door? But after 4 or 5 times, 7 times of searching for the same key, you identify it without watching sometimes. You know?
Yeah.
That is precisely what happens with words. The first time you see it is super strange. It's gonna take 10 or 15 times of repetitions before understanding it in a video like this. But of course, the whole point is a constant practice. That's why you should rewatch the video every single day with the vocabulary in your hands. 7 days, boom, 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 like constant repetition. You know?
Yes, teacher.
That's gonna help you. That's a tip for everybody, guys. If you're watching the video only twice, like today and the day of the practice, you're gonna forget 90% of the vocabulary. Easy. That's the thing. Oh yes. That's why I always use logs and things like that. That's what happens. But anyway, good. Rafa was speaking about the global idea of the video, which is precisely this experiment that happened in the United Kingdom and the results of them. There were very positive results, there were very negative results, and there is a theory where that helped as an inspiration for this experiment. The one that we were talking about somewhere over here. There was a map, this one. Because this specific theory was implemented after the observation of behavior, cars, and commute in the 1920s, when cars were very slow. Over here. You could see the speed of cars, it was very slow, right? That was the normal speed for a car on that time. And that's why people could walk all over the town, no? Just imagine this in Mexico City today. You know, have you seen pictures of Avenue? What is the name of the avenue in front of the Fine Arts Palace? The avenue in front of Sears Tower.
It is Juárez, no?
Exactly, it's Juárez that crosses with
Eje Central.
Eje Central.
Yeah.
In the 1920s, there was a car like this, a little train in that avenue. You know, in times of Porfirio Diaz, there was a little car after the construction of the Fine Arts Palace. And of course, when cars started moving faster and faster and faster, it was necessary to remove it because now it was very slow. You know, so that evolution is very interesting. What else did you understand? For example, Michael, what was interesting for you in this video?
The part of interesting was the concept of the sidewalk when the street turn into other, no? This is two other. This is strange because I know it's similar CDMX. Not similar, but the people of the live in Mexico City doesn't respect the signs.
Nope. Not at all.
And the drivers and the walkers.
Totally.
I think it's similar concept, no? Because all the people or drivers take care of sites.
What do you think can happen if we remove street signs in Mexico City, like these streets?
Oh, I think this is it's crazy situation because I think the drivers will be faster, and the walkers, I don't know. I think the increase accidents.
Probably, yes, probably. Yeah, because that's something about Mexico City. People like to drive fast. Even though it's a small, the streets are very small, they like to go fast. It's like, what's the point, you know? That's something.
Or maybe the bikers, no? The bikers riding on this outside or specific.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
If the driver cross and this line and the motorcycles, what else? No?
Yes.
And the walker wait light street, the light signs or
Walter White? What again? Can you repeat that?
how you say when you the red yellow and green. Light street? No.
Street light.
Street light.
Yes.
No, it's very complicated. In Mexico City, implement that.
Totally. This is very thing. And who knows, eh? Probably in some cities they have implemented that in Mexico City. In Mexico, but not in the city. No, I have seen some small locations where it is possible every time you respect and you open the eyes to the walker. Actually, let me give you a word, because you're saying walker, but it's not walker.
I just remember in the video they mentioned pedestrian or something like that.
Close. That's another word very similar.
Oh, yeah.
In pronunciation, but
People
in
of golf?
definition.
Pedestrian? Okay.
Yes. Pedestrian is another thing.
It's more serious.
It's strange.
Yes, you cannot permit the pedestrians, No.
England people is pedestrian.
No. That's a nation. That's very different. No. Pedestrian. Only 3 syllables.
Pedestrian? Okay, pedestrian.
They like kids.
It sounds so
Exactly.
similar.
They like kids, but not in a different way, This is pedestrian. And these are the people
Okay.
who walk.
I listen in the audio, but I don't understand
They mention
the
them
word.
a lot. A person walking in the street and not traveling in a vehicle. I live very near what's this avenue? The avenue is called, I always forget. It's a massive avenue that connects the north and the south. There is definitely no pedestrian areas.
Insurgentes?
No, it's not pedestrian. Periférico, similar to periférico. Imagine periférico, right?
Viaducto?
Not really. No. It's like periférico because it's like only cars, and bridges and a lot of things. There is no pedestrian area, but there are bus stations. Explain that to me, Hashtag Mexico City. There are no pedestrian areas. You cannot walk, but people need to walk because there is the bus station. So it's a massive contradiction in this avenue. Massive.
For example, Indios Verdes, no? Indios Verdes is massive. People are massive bus.
But there are pedestrian areas, no?
Yeah.
In this case, there is no pedestrian areas. Literally, the sidewalk is super tiny.
But I think that there are some places like the space between Ciudad Universitaria and Presur. If you go through Insurgentes, you can see the bus stop in the sidewalks, but there are no. Well, you can get there with the puentes, like with the bridge.
Bridges. Plural bridges.
But there are not in use anymore.
What do you mean?
So there, yes, actually, I think that there's a bus stop in front of the Metrobus station. So there is the place, but it's not in use. There are not any bus that you can take in that place.
Really? Wow.
Yes, well, I think I'm not sure because I've been there like a few times in my life, but I have never seen a bus
that are stopping there, and of course the bridges are not used.
Yes,
because people prefer to drive to that.
Yes, of course, but I think that these places were built before the Metrobus, so that's why the government never how to say, destroy them. Yeah.
Yes, at the end is an option. If
Yeah.
you're taking a bus from let's say from the other side of Periférico, and you want to go to the mall, you need to cross, no? But who takes the bus in that case? No, very few people. What do you know about? And the reason I mentioned the pedestrian is, for example, Polanco's new. It's not a law, but it's more like a usual habit from drivers. Do you know anything about that? For example, Alex, have you heard about this new initiative? That I will call it like that. That it's happening in Polanco?
No.
No, nobody
I don't
knows.
know. No.
No. Okay.
It's
yeah.
it's too fancy for me, teacher.
It's too fancy for you. So the thing, probably I don't know why, but that area has been like recently they have been insisting the drivers to slow down because on Friday, for example, on the restaurant area, there is a lot of people in the street, like a lot of pedestrians, and then cars are minority, really. So they have this initiative called Pedestrians First or the Pedestrians Count, something like that, that they have been trying to use. Every time you want to cross the street, the only area in Mexico City where the car stops is in Polanco. Like even though the street light is on green, or especially because in Polanco there are not a lot of street lights, you want to cross, you make eye contact, and the driver stops. Just like that. What do you think about this?
That doesn't sound like Mexico.
That doesn't sound like Mexico, brother. No, it's
I was
not
going to
Mexico.
say the same.
It's totally out of world. Like Polanco is a very different. It's Narnia, you know. You enter Polanco and it's Narnia. It's a different place.
Yeah, I know.
What do you think about this situation? Because in other places, like if you visit other areas of Mexico, this is very normal. They respect the pedestrian. Who has experienced a situation like that in their life?
Me, teacher.
Tell me, Rafa.
But not with the traffic light. And in the school.
Interesting.
Yeah. It was something strange for me because, well, I live in Mexico country, and I know how is the culture habitual action of the people, no? Like if you left something, you lost it. And something like that, yeah. But in the school, something changed. I don't know what, but people respect a lot, and I didn't know about steal or something like that.
That's very nice.
Yeah, it was very, very interesting for me. It's something strange.
And that can be another type of experience. Let's say this alternate reality experience. and you enter the school and everything is like marvelous, amazing, people are cool, like you leave your cell phone on the bench and you find it there again, like your computer, for example, you can go to the bathroom, come back, continue working.
Yeah, it's just like that.
It's just great. It's something that we need. This culture is something that we need, but of course, outside of these areas, it can be the situation around you is like they are watching you. Whenever you are distracted, somebody is going to take advantage of that.
Yeah, it's something. It's something very sad, the situation, the general situation, but yes, and the place is like nobody get rid of the garbage out of its place, and yeah, it's very different. Yeah.
And the thing is that is sometimes we confuse that as culture, but it's not really culture, it's necessity. Like people need, whenever they see something, they are going to take the opportunity. That's the negative part about thing. I don't think it's culture. I think it's necessity. But that's the difficult part about our city.
Yeah.
Anyway, that's precisely the topic I wanted to touch with you, because there are this conversation you didn't notice, but while you are talking, there are some expressions, some things in that comes from Spanish that makes us commit some mistakes. And one of the mistakes that we are going to attack this week is talking about the article that, which is this one over here. That. Somebody said over here, the pedestrians that walk all over the street. What if I tell you that this is an incorrect sentence? Even though it sounds right, I mean, the verb is in present, the person verb complement is correct, then what's the problem, Sometimes this particular mistake is invisible, unnoticeable for a Spanish speaker. Because in Spanish, we need to use the article the. How do you translate that into Spanish?
El, la, los.
El, la, los, and?
I don't know.
And las.
Las. Les.
Unless if you are inclusive.
Unless, sí, nos ponemos incluidos. Unless and el X con X. Right. Now, talking in English, if you want to say los conductores deben de tener ambas manos en el volante. How do you translate this to English?
Drivers must have take the
How do you say volante? Let's talk about that.
I forget.
Okay. Los conductores deben tener ambas manos en el volante.
How to say volante?
Okay. Does anybody know? Huh. Interesting. Let me help you. The wheel. In this case, we are not talking about definition number 1. We are talking about definition number 2.
Actually, there is exam.
Ah, excellent. So we can talk about the word keep because Alex, you were saying have, no, have the hands, but it's much better to use the word keep. So let's make the translation. Drivers
Must keep
both
hands over the wheel, or
over is flying.
Okay,
On,
sorry.
On, excellent. On the wheel. That's right. So the first thing that we notice here is how this specific word disappeared. Did you notice?
Yeah, yes, and I think that we need the word there.
The drivers.
While, because no, but at the end, no, because we are talking about only one specific item, the wheel.
Okay.
Or
Because
no?
there is another article here, no?
Yes.
This one. So that is very interesting. You are locating two different articles, but in the English version, we only have one. Am I right? So the reason here is that, number one, you are partially correct, Isaac. On the second one, we are talking about a particular wheel. But in the first one, we are talking about drivers in general.
Yes.
And that's going to be technically the first rule of what we have. We don't use that when we are talking about things in general, especially when you're talking about rules, laws, and facts. Every time you talk about laws, rules, you're always talking about things in general because it applies to everybody. Laws and rules always go everywhere. So talking in plural, you need to be very careful about when you use that and when not, especially when you're talking in plural. For example, here you say cats, books, women, men, houses, Americans, you see? All the nouns that you have in the examples are plural. And any of them need the article. You see? Questions about this?
Yes. What is the example, or which is the example for a fact?
For a fact, it's over here, for example. Read this section.
No, I haven't noticed that. Guillermo González Camarena is the inventor of color television and was born in the Mexican city of Guadalajara, Jalisco in 1940. The then 23, that sounds weird. The 23 years old requested a patent of the first color image transmission system, which was later on use in the Voyager 1 spacecraft.
The Voyager 1, which is amazing. Actually, it's very interesting that you said that the then 23-year-old sounds strange.
Yes, it was a little difficult to pronounce also.
Probably we need to check the reasons why they use like that, because in this case, the is referring to the person. the person that is 23 years old.
Yes.
So the complete thing is a noun, but is a specific noun, a specific person.
Yes, according to the rule, it's correct, but it sounds weird.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Actually, you know why it sounds weird? Let's take a note on the purple word here. The adverb that is telling you time, like in that time, he was 23 years old.
Yes.
Making an emphasis because it's amazing how he invented such a revolutionary thing when he was so young. So all this information is concised in what I call a complex noun. A complex noun is an article followed by descriptions and ending in the noun that you are talking about.
Yes, it includes a lot of information.
Exactly. It includes a lot of information in a small package.
Yes.
Precisely. So if you think about these specific words in Spanish, you are going to find that you are missing articles. Do you agree?
Yes. Guillermo González Camarena is the inventor of color television. Yeah, but we are talking about that, like all one. I think that it could sound maybe like a specific item, but it's not like talking about only one television, no?
Exactly.
It's talking about in general, like the color television.
That's right.
And that's a little complex.
But exactly, the thing is that you used the in this case. You spoke the because we are thinking in Spanish, and it's very natural to collocate the word the when it's not necessary.
Yes.
Inventor of the color television. Automatically, we start thinking about that, and that's a mistake.
Yes.
This ability is super advanced, super advanced.
Yes, and I think that to develop this skill, you need to practice and practice.
And more than that, yes, practice and practice, but listen to yourself, because it's very common that when we are intermediate, we have a lot of vocabulary, so we start speaking fast, and we don't stop to reconsider some of the structures that we are probably missing.
Yes, I think that it's something that happened to me because I'm usually start talking and I don't pay attention to the structures that I'm trying to use.
Well, everybody here in the class, everybody in the class has the same issue. If you are speaking slowly, these expressions are invisible, and if you're speaking fast, these expressions are invisible too. So we should find like a media between speaking fast and speaking slowly. Everything goes about listening to yourself. Okay, that's the one. Does anybody have a question here?
No.
So tell me a fact. Tell me a curious fact that you know. Who wants to start? Any type of curious fact? Something interesting from your job, for example, that you think is interesting? A rule on at the office? A law that you don't agree with?
I have one.
Excellent. Go, Sylvia.
Not about my job. I can speak very well because I'm very and
Because you what
I
again?
don't know
You
why
got frozen.
English is more difficult. What?
Jesus, your connection is very, very
Is it
low.
okay, my connection now?
Okay, much better, I think.
Really?
Can you repeat?
That I'm not speaking very well because I'm a little bit sick.
Ha, you too.
Yes or no?
Yes, of course. Your boyfriend is very sick too.
I don't know why.
Yeah, that's correct.
That's very
We
common.
haven't seen each other for a Okay. A curious thing is that I don't know if you know this, but ants, I don't know if correct word is speed. No, I don't think that is speed because speed is for like fast or something like that.
Speed is a concept.
You know, like an action when expedient, like when they are dead.
Oh, when they are dead?
Yeah.
I don't understand
Yes.
because you're saying speed, no?
No, I said, well, yeah, but it was something like, es que sí, creo que sí, I'm sorry, expedient I don't know if even if that word is in
Do
Spanish.
you want to say expire?
No.
Then what are you talking about?
No.
Okay, try to say it without this word. Try to find a turnaround.
Okay, let me think. Ants, when an ant dies, the other ants put the body. I don't know if it is correct to say body for an ant, but I think that
the body or
yes. Okay.
When you're talking about an animal's body, people say carcass.
Carcass. The other ants take carcass to a place apart from them. Well, that happens every time an ant dies. But an study refers that a person puts a key. No, a taki is like, I don't know how to say botana. How do you say botana? Or
botana.
botana.
Is called snack.
Snack. Okay. Person put a taki on, well, a taki is near to the ants. And something weird is that all the ants go to the place where go to the place where dead ants were.
Oh.
And take it from the I forgot the words.
From
Tierra.
Ground.
Okay, take it from ground, and
they took the dead ant.
Then they took the dead ants, and they took them to the takis, around the takis.
What? That's so weird.
Do you understand that?
Yeah. Yes, we understand. Yes, but
well, the fact is that
the fact that it was so strange.
The scientific, science says that the smell, or I don't know if it is correct to say smell for this type of, this kind of thing, but the smell of the takis is similar to the smell of dead ants. Well, not only the smell, the substance, I don't know, the
ingredients, like the combination of ingredients
I
smell
think
like that.
Yeah, something weird.
That's
So
disgusting.
when a person put the yeah, do you like takis?
No, never. And today, even
Okay.
even worse. Like, I hate them now.
Yeah, but that's an interesting.
An interesting fact. And you know what? You didn't commit a mistake. Every time you spoke about dead ants, when you spoke about plural things, you didn't use that, and that was very, very correct. Very nice. Very, very
Yeah,
good job, Sylvie.
I have the intention to use it, but then I thought that it was incorrect, and
No,
I
you
correct
did it
my
right.
brain.
Oh, okay. You spoke correctly. Yes, your correction were very good. And it's very interesting that, as you say, we feel the natural impulse to say that. But then it's like, whoa, no, that's incorrect. We need to second think what we are saying, you know? Whenever you are going to say the, I want you to listen to yourself again and check, verify if you are not blocking rule number 1. But the way you spoke was perfect. Good job, Sylvie. Okay, let's make a little stop because we have Jessie in the chat. Hello, Jessie. Let's go.
Hi. Thank you. Good night.
Hi.
So is here Mike?
Yes, here.
Hi, Mike. Thank you. Rafael?
Hello, Jesse. I'm here.
Hi, Rafael.
Good night.
Thank you. Good night. Silvana?
I'm here, Jessie. Thank you.
Hi, Silvana. Thank you to you. Isaac?
Here, good night.
Hi, Isaac. Thank you. Good night. Alex?
Here, Jesse, good night.
Hi, Alex. Good night. Luis?
Luis who? Luis del Rio?
Uh-huh. All right. So thank you, everyone. Have a good night. See you.
Hi, see you later.
See you.
Very good. So this is the way, right? The rule. Who has another rule, law, or curious fact that you want to share? A law or a rule in your school, a law or a rule from your high school that you didn't agree with. That's in my case, for example. Something that you have to do.
You can't eat chewing gum in Singapore.
You can't eat
Yes.
chewing gum. Well, you don't eat chewing gum because it is to swallow and to digest.
Okay, I get it. Chewing gum is illegal in Singapore.
Much better. Because the word that you needed to substitute eat is precisely the word chew.
Chew. Okay.
You cannot chew.
Chew. To bite food into small. Okay, chew. I will write it.
Yes, please. I think this is C1 or no. There's no level. That's why it's chewing gum.
Okay. Chewing gum is illegal in Singapore.
Interesting.
Yeah.
Chewing gum is illegal in Singapore. How do you know that?
I have a friend. She's in international. she's a she's studying. How can I say she's in an intercambio?
Interchange.
How? Sorry?
Interchange.
Okay.
Interchange.
Yeah, she's in an interchange in Singapore for this semester. Yeah. And she told me that.
And now she's arrested because.
No.
Okay.
No, now she hold her gum.
Exactly.
No, nobody can see her when she chum gum.
And she choose.
When she choose gum.
That's crazy. That's wow.
Yeah.
Imagine having the habit or the addiction of chewing gum, like always having something in your mouth, and then visiting a different country where it's illegal. That will be a.
Yeah, and Singapore is an interesting country because Singapore was in a very bad situation 50 years ago, and now they are international potential in every economic and
Economic superpower.
yeah, they are an economic superpower and in education and in many ways. Yeah. The in Singapore is legal the pena de muerte.
Death penalty.
Death penalty is legal. Death
Eliminate
penalty.
that. Exactly.
Death
And
penalty.
now reaccommodate. Person verb complement. What is legal in Singapore?
Penal date.
Switch.
Date penalty
Penalty.
is legal in Singapore.
Exactly. That's correct. And that was a natural you see?
Yeah.
That's what happens. That's exactly what I refer. Very, very good. But that's very natural. And when you listen to yourself, the correction that you did was fantastic. Death penalty is legal in Singapore. Good job, man. Good job. Excellent. Who else? Tell me another law or fact. Let's go, Alex.
Seeing the background of Rafa, I remember a fact. Just let me a minute. Patrick Mahomes and Russell Wilson
Okay.
have been the only two Super Bowl champions of Afro-American ascent or descent.
Of American heritage.
Heritage, okay. In the last two decades.
Decades.
Decades, okay.
In the last 2 decades, there have been the only Afro-American heritage from the last. That's a fact, but there is no omission of article that. If you think about that in Spanish, it's the same. There is no change.
Okay.
You know, Patrick Mahomes and the other one are yes, no. The sentence matches with the Spanish, and there is rule number 1 is not applied.
Okay. Well, just want to know that.
Okay, that's nice. So let's try to continue talking about that. Why is it relevant for American people to know that fact in particular?
Because that fact show us
I show, you show, and the fact.
Sorry?
I show, you show, and the fact. He, she, it.
That facts.
No, it's only one fact, no?
Okay, yes, that fact.
I show, you show, he, she, it. Conjugation for show.
Shows.
Shows. So the fact.
Okay, because that fact shows us. Sorry.
Excellent, much better.
Shows us the clear tendency or of the white people preference.
The white people preference. Eliminate that.
Yes, I try to do this mistake for show the rule, no?
So you did, you did a mistake on purpose?
I did this
It was
mistake
an example of the mistake.
Oh.
I did it intentionally. Intentionally?
Intentionally. Okay, okay. So what will be the correction?
That fact shows us the clear tendency of white people preference.
Good. White people preference. There's something interesting here. The reason we omit that is because white people possesses the preference. You need to indicate possession. How do you indicate possession?
Preference? No, I don't.
If you say preference of white people, you are using the connector of, right?
Okay.
So what happens if we switch preference of white people and omit the connector of?
Preference
Switch.
of white people of no.
Omit the connector of.
Yes. That fact shows white people preferences or preference.
Preferences is plural. Plural doesn't speak about possession. How do you say? How do you say the restaurant of McDonald's? Eliminate off and switch.
Can you repeat? I don't listen.
The restaurant of McDonald's.
McDonald's restaurant.
You see, what did you add?
An S, no?
An apostrophe S.
Yes.
Because it's not only the S, it's the apostrophe and an S.
Yes.
So how do you say the preference of white people?
White people. Yes, okay. I have an issue because people is plural, and when I add the S, I show my
That's why
brain.
you need to mentalize the apostrophe. Because it's not only adding an S.
Yeah, yes.
Is your adding an apostrophe S?
Okay. That fact shows that fact shows us the clear tendency. What? I don't know. White people prefer. No.
The clear tendency.
White people's preference.
Of white people's preference. Exactly. Okay. That's the one. Something that, an ability that is in the previous level, actually, we usually see. Let me find the possessive. Now, complex nouns. Complex nouns. We usually see that the apostrophe S substitutes the article. If you want to take a screenshot of this, that's precisely the reason you omit the article the. Look at this example. Amanda's high school talent show has been in increasing popularity in recent days. If we think in Spanish, it's very common to say the Amanda high school talent. Two mistakes. You collocate the article the, and we eliminate the apostrophe S. That specific mistake is very classic from Spanish to English. When we think in English, we need to take into consideration whose high school we are talking about. In your example, whose preference we are talking about. And the article S substitutes. No, the possessive S substitutes the article the.
Okay.
That's like the secondary part or something behind rule number 1.
Okay.
Did you take the screenshot?
Yes, thank you.
Take it because that's very, very important stuff. People, this is the opening, the introduction to this week's topic. What an interesting stuff. Now you are watching stuff that you haven't considered before. If I actually want to review this topic with you, because Isaac also said that it was very strange how this particular part sounds. Let's review that on the week. Okay? We're going to talk about that tomorrow, and let's continue. Right now, we finished.
Thank you, teacher.
All right?
Thank you, teacher.
Have a good day. I'll see you tomorrow, guys.
Thank you, teacher. See you.
Good day.